Just kidding.
Hi.
We're back.
Try this again.
Okay, looking. She was here, you guys. Hi, we're going to start again.
Let's do this one more time.
There she is. Guys, we are not screwing around. We're going straight to Tara Strong. Hold on. There she is. Here she is.
It's happening.
It's happening. There she is.
That was hilarious. You guys are so cute.
Oh my God.
Hi, guys. Is this really bright? This light is really bright, isn't it?
You kind of look like you're at a club.
I'm in a club. I'm up in the club. Can you
You've
guys
got
see me
like
okay?
some like, purplish blue, and then you've got like a little yellow happening.
She's a club strong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm not in my own space, so I'm not used to it. I'm in Toronto to shoot a TV show, and I'm in this awesome rental, and so I'm like trying to configure where I do everything. But I've been doing like cameos and stuff here, so this is nice.
Nice. Well, I'm sure you cannot tell us what you're working on.
I can't, but it's so good, and it's so nice to be in Canada, away from some of the craziness.
Right?
Yeah.
And Toronto is such a great city.
Great city. I grew up here actually, so
Nice.
it's my hometown.
I didn't realize that this was our week of Torontian.
Torontonians.
I know, that's why earlier I'm like, oh, and I screwed up my whole day, so then I was late with other stuff, but I'm here. It's all good. I have to
That's why
remember
when
the
you were
time
like,
difference.
it's 5 p.m., I was like,
Yeah.
no, sweetie, it's... And then now I'm like, oh, yes, it is 5 p.m. for you.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, congratulations on...
Thanks.
Is it on camera?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
She is a Renaissance woman, y'all. She does it all. That's fantastic. So
I'm excited.
how is it? I mean, how long have you been there? I mean, how long, like you said, obviously it's a little crazy here. Like, how are you? Obviously, normally we ask, how do you stay sane during the quarantine? But you went to Canada to stay sane.
Yeah. You know, I think it's challenging, so I feel for people having a hard time. I've just been lucky. I've been working the whole time. We're lucky to have our home studio, so we stayed busy. And yeah, now I'm here, and it does feel safer here. We've been here since the 7th, so we haven't gone anywhere, so maybe that's why it feels safe, because we're in strict quarantine. But the people are so nice, and I don't know, we're just happy.
And is your family still, I'm like, are you going to
Yeah,
have an opportunity?
my family's here. Yeah, my whole family's here. Like, I'm excited to see cousins and kids I went to high school with. It's fun.
And you're going to have to probably field some questions.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole situation because when I speak to my friends and family that are in other countries, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, that's
a lot to
What's going
say.
on over there?
Yeah. So before you got over to Canada, what were you doing to kind of, you're obviously always working, but are you doing, I know that you're vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you doing a lot of like cooking and stuff like that? Are you
Yes.
like a vegan who like cooks at home and
Is that
makes
better?
the stuff? Or
Is
are
that,
you like,
is that less crazy lighting?
it's still great.
Okay. Yes, we've been cooking like crazy. My boys and I are vegan. We learned how to make dumplings from scratch, and I don't know. We cook every day. It's been good because normally I don't cook. Normally we're out working till 4 o'clock, right? We get to be moms still in voiceover, which is great. But who has time to cook? But now we have time to cook. Yeah, no, we had so much. I mean, we had fun. We did puzzles, and I taught my kids mahjong, and we watched a lot of TV. I watched Tiger King. My son has got me into Stargate, and I'm up to season like 12 because that's what happens when you start that.
That's usually
How about you? What have you guys been doing?
I love that he's Sherpaing you into Stargate.
Yeah. What about you guys? How you been?
Just, swimming out of my depth, technically, with, doing things. Source Connect went down yesterday during one of my sessions, and so I have to dye my hair because I'm completely gray on one side now. I was just freaking out. But aside
But technically,
from the stress,
if you don't, technically you can survive a session without Source Connect.
yes, I did that for 40 minutes, but I don't recommend it. especially when it's for a fancy cartoon and there are people you don't normally work with. And so,
Yeah, but the good news is
I had
if
to
you're
take a
still
nap.
recording.
Yeah. And I always have that, like, I'm a bad girl. This is all the technical stuff is my fault. And so I'm like pulling plugs out and running around and like shutting all the power down to my house and being like, I'm so sorry. It's me. And then they're like, oh no, the board blew up. And I'm like, oh, it's you. Okay. But then I'm like, yeah. So, other than that, I've just been eating a lot and working on NerdsVote, obviously. Thank you so much for being such a huge supporter. You are like one of our OG notable nerds.
I love it. I love the idea too. I miss going to cons. You know, we had those little Nerds Vote stickers, and I was like, if you promise to vote, you get a free autograph on a sticker. And, you know, all these kids, you get to reach so many kids at cons. It's, well, you know, this is not the same as hugging people, but it's a virtual hug. But yeah, I love the idea of letting everybody know that their vote counts. And of course, nerds votes counts. Nerds are the best.
Yeah, it's been amazing, I think, to see how lots of the voice actors have sort of transitioned from con life to doing these cameos and, you know, these virtual signings and stuff like that. And I love that we actually get to do this as well, because it feels kind of like the gateway to a con where you're just hanging out and chatting with some friends, and then you get to see all the people who love you.
Yeah.
Love Timmy Turney.
Hi, people.
Turner. So if you guys have questions for Tara, you can put them in the question box, which is already there. And if you're just joining us, we are Between Two Nerds. We're an offshoot of nerdsvote.com, pushing the nerd word to get your vote out in 2020 and all elections, and every election, every time. So we also have a pinned comment below about a little plan of action for voting. You can check that out, and you can put your questions for Tara in the question box. So let's see. Do you want to start with a vegan question or a music question?
Whatever.
What's your advice on getting protein as a vegan? From Ella Thompson.
Well, I have a website called tryvegantoday.com, and it's full of all kinds of great tips. And there's actually protein in everything. Like everything you eat has protein. Broccoli has protein. Like everything you eat. And we love, especially during COVID, we've made a lot of burritos. So we have beans and we have vegan cheeses and vegan meats. I like vegan meats. Not everyone does, but like Impossible Burger. I don't know if you've had that. It's so good.
So good.
Yeah, so there's lots of fun alternative meat choices to cook with. And once you get going, once you really wipe any kind of animal byproduct out of your body, you're not going to want it. Like you're not even going to think, oh, how do I get protein? Like I don't want that. But anyway.
I could live on bean and cheese burritos with a little rice thrown in for the rest of my life. I know that's not totally vegan, but
Exactly.
That's how I was a vegetarian for my entire young life. Just bean and cheese burritos. Bean and rice and diet cheese for you vegans.
And diet cheese.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite song? Asks Little Moon other backup. Yeah.
My favorite song is, I think I've never been asked that question before. Like, what's your favorite song?
Like, is there a song that you, because later on we're going to get to like a certain voting memory. So for now, is there like a prom song or, yeah, this is the, you know, like little baby spoonfuls, but like a special song that you like danced to in high school or that you played when you broke up with your boyfriend, but you were sad.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, that's how it goes, right?
Never been asked
with
what's
them
my
and
favorite
we're
song.
sad-ish.
You know, I've been to like a billion cons and no one's ever asked me, what's your favorite song?
Well, what kind of music do you like?
I like everything. You know what? I'm going to go with my favorite song right now, which is She Used to Be Mine from Waitress. It's so good. I love that song.
Sarah Bareilles. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so obsessed with her. She's so good.
Amazing.
There is that I feel like she's like the official musician of all voice actors because all voice actors love her for some
Is that
reason.
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Laura Bailey loves
Wow,
her.
I didn't know that.
McGlynn, everybody. JP Karliak. That's
I
everybody,
never
right?
knew that. This
And
is
you.
not something we've talked about. Wow.
Yeah.
I think,
Obsessed.
it's just the control she has over her voice and the range. Like, she can go from like, a really solid medium belt to a high belt with no, like, you don't hear any change in any, like, she's built so cool. We're also envious of those chords. That's what it is.
You have chord envy. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So clear. Just that crystal clear.
And I love that she writes her own stuff and plays and is not.
And she makes it effortless. She makes it effortless.
And she's hilarious, and she's filthy, and that alone is why I love her.
Did you guys see her live at the Hollywood Bowl right before COVID?
A little road trip with my sister up to nope, not San Luis Obispo, Pala, nope.
Sounds like rhymes with.
That little wine town, Paso Robles. And we saw her up there, and she was hilarious, and she's just, I mean, even in a giant venue, she just makes you feel like she's playing in her living room.
I know, I love her. Do you guys like to play with filters when you do this show?
I have not, but I love that you are kind of the queen. You have an amazing. Every time I look at all your pictures, I'm like, so cute. She's a bunny. She's sparkly. She's purple.
I mean,
so
people are sending messages. Sorry, for missing that.
So do you have like a voting memory? I mean, I know so your deal is that you're Canadian, but you moved here. Now, are you American or are you still Canadian? What's the deal?
I have dual citizenship.
So you can vote here.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you have a particular voting memory, like the first time that you voted in America or the last time you voted in Toronto?
I think my favorite memory will be the last time I voted because it was with my son and it was his first time voting. And we couldn't get to the polls early, so we were on that last day and we were outside freezing our booties off at least 3 hours. But it was his first time. He's like, Mom, we're doing this. We're not leaving. We're not. And it was like freezing. Like after polls were shut, they let people who were still in line go, and he waited it out. And I was like, yes. So it was a good memory. That's probably my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I can't believe you. I mean, you have 2 boys, and they're huge, and they're not. One of them is voting now, right?
Just one. Yeah, my younger guy is almost 16. So. But we're going to have to absentee vote. We're going to vote by mail. So hopefully Trump won't take away all of the mailboxes because we're going to vote by mail.
Allegedly, they're not taking away anymore. They're just not putting the ones back that they took.
Okay, good.
So that's something?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's part of the reason that we've been giving people that plan, like in the bottom, because every state is different. There's so much confusing stuff going around. Originally we were just telling people, like, get your absentee ballot, send it in. And now it's like, well, get it if you can, if you don't need an excuse. And if you do need an excuse, hopefully COVID works. And if it doesn't, then just try to do early voting if it's available in your state. And if it's not, then, so it's a lot.
Right, get it done as soon as you can. Right. Sorry.
Yeah, it's whack-a-mole, I think, where you're just like, today it's
Sorry, she was at the door.
Oh, who is this?
That's Lika.
Oh,
she has pink hair.
Oh, she does. Now, did
one time I did one.
Did you get her to the groomer?
No, I get it done. One time I had one pink and one blue. She was like my little Harley dog. It was pretty cute.
So,
like Lisa Schaefer's dog. You both have little punk adorable dogs.
Yes, I do believe Lika was first. Yes, they both have little pink hair.
I feel like they should hang out because you guys are both sparkly and colorful, and the dogs are as well. Okay, hang on one second. Talk amongst yourselves. I have to shut something down.
So, Tara, questions that we love to ask our guests is, who are you voting for? And when we ask that, we don't necessarily mean the party or the candidate, because we're a nonpartisan group. But we just mean that when you're casting your ballot, both in November and whenever, who do you want that vote to benefit? What person or people, whether you know them or don't, like, are on your mind that you want to benefit from whoever wins that election?
Well, first of all, I appreciate that you guys are nonpartisan, because the only way to bridge the divide is with open dialogue and having safe spaces. So I applaud that. But I also have to say, after watching the convention this week, I appreciate how the gloves are off and people are saying what's up and saying what really is. And Obama was completely unafraid. So was everyone else to say, like, he's not up for the job because he can't be. And it's true. He's a narcissistic sociopath. He's incapable of making any change. So there's not a chance. Of course, I'm voting for Biden, and that vote is for every human in our country and every human in the world looking at our country. It's not about human anymore. It's about, like, it's not about party anymore. It's about human. Then he's a terrible human and he's got to go. And there are still kids sitting in cages, and, you know, they're dying of COVID and they're being assaulted, and he's golfing. It's a big problem. He's got to go. That was my soapbox.
We love a soapbox. We love a soapbox, and we are nonpartisan. If you are just joining us, we are a nonpartisan voter education and registration group, but also we have our own social media as well. Exactly. Was there a part of the Democratic convention that really spoke to you? I know a lot of people are really thrilled about Barack and everything, but was there a particular part of the lineup or a particular point that was made that really resonated with you?
I really loved the speeches that I saw. I loved them, and I thought they were all special, all important, all poignant, all smart, all thoughtful, all feel to me to be uniting, which is what this country needs for sure. I did love when they showed all the states casting their vote. And, you know, I'm friends with Fred Gutenberg, so I was like cheering for him when he came out for Florida. But I loved seeing the diversity in that. And I found that part very emotional. Like, it started to feel like, right, these are things that we're proud of, the diversity in this country, the economical diversity, there's so many things that are not, Trump is only interested in dividing. That's what's happened. And so I felt like the convention is really attempting to bring everyone back together. And you have guys on the other side now saying that, which is amazing. So.
Yeah, I agree very much so that, we're not going to get anywhere. If we were talking to Eric Bauza on Tuesday, and he was saying, it's like every 4 years or every 8 years we reset and start from the beginning, and then it happens all over again. And the idea, being that maybe we don't have to do that. We don't have to keep starting back at zero and rehashing the same things, that we can find some middle ground and some ways to have some conversations and some commonalities, where I just think no matter the party, if you're pushing for people, we're Americans, we're all Americans. And, we left England to start something new and better. And it's, we all have to be working towards that, regardless of party.
Of course. And I mean, regardless of party, we all have to be working towards getting back to humanity, being there for each other, empathy. It has to happen. And it's such an important moment right now in history, with the Black Lives Matter movement really, really staying at the forefront with these tragedies. We have time to come together and make these changes. And it's not going to happen with someone who's still dividing, who still thinks the people in Charlottesville were good folks on that side. Like, it's never going to get fixed. We have to get rid of all the hatred and just get back to seeing each other and being there for each other and helping each other. I mean, especially during a global pandemic, it's time to be there for each other.
Yeah, definitely. It's been wild, and everyone's sick of being home. So we got to start paying attention and honoring, our fellow people, because otherwise we're all going to be stuck at home forever. And that's the least of it.
Yeah, it's true.
I want to just take a moment and say, guys, if you are arguing about who should be elected in the comments, it's not a really good use of time. So, and if you are asking the same question 37 times, I'm still
make
not
it harder for us to find questions.
Right. So it would be.
We'll do our best to get to everybody.
Exactly. Thank you. Ella wants to know, who is your biggest voice acting inspiration?
I loved cartoons when I was a kid. I was up every Saturday morning. I loved the Flintstones and the Jetsons, and we had a show in Canada called Wait Till Your Father Gets Home. I don't know if you guys had that, but I loved that. And then I loved the Smurfs, and I loved all kinds of stuff. So, and I knew when I was 5 years old that I wanted to be singer, dancer, actress. It would have included voiceover. Like, I was already enamored with all those people. But of course, June Foray is trailblazer for our sisters in voiceover. But when I saw The Little Mermaid, I was so obsessed with Ariel. I was so in love with her. And Jodie Benson's voice, like, just, right? Like, I died. I had the poster in my room growing up, and I loved her so much. And when I moved to LA, I got to play her daughter in the sequel. And I met her. Yeah. And when I met her, I shook her hand and I burst into tears, because I used to, like, run around my room impersonating her. She's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I've just loved you for so long." Like, I totally fangirled. And then singing in the booth with her, like, I really could have died the next day. It was total dream come true. Like, I'm singing with a little.
So here's a question for you, because I feel like you and some of the, you're one of the heaviest hitters in animation. And Kari Walgren also knew about wanting to be a voice actor at a really young age, as well as, I think, Gray, Delisle, Griffin. What commonality, do you find that people that rise to this certain level of success, do you guys have anything? I know you're buddies with those guys. Do you have some, I don't know, common thread, but just in that you really visualize this, like a top athlete visualizes, their performances?
It's funny that you say that. It's funny that you say that, because when I first saw the movie The Secret, I was like, I know all this already. Like, I know this by nature. That's how I operate. And I really do try to always feel positive and be grateful. And, like, I'm always trying to, I've always known since I was little I was going to manifest, a beautiful life. Even though I didn't come from a lot, I knew, like, I was going to be successful. No one in my family was an actor. I knew I was going to be in acting. So I think that is common with us. I'm sure you're the same. I'm sure you knew when you were little you wanted to be a performer. No?
I mean, I did. I knew I wanted to be a performer, like, in some way. I took tap classes and stuff, and I never shut up, and I read a lot. But I didn't. It was not, like, I'm sort of fascinated with you three, because you guys are so, like, this was the thing at a really young age. For me, I was like, I knew it was going to be something, but I didn't, like, now I look back on it and I go, oh, I used to read aloud all the time. And I used to imitate my parents because they have accents, and I was a mimic. But only when I really got into voice acting did I look back and go, oh, all those little steps make sense. But I didn't realize it until just now. You guys are so much more of the opposite of, like, you guys came out of the womb being like, this is what I'm going to do. And
I love that. I love that. I find that so fascinating. Like, my older son for sure came with musicality. He's a far better musician than I am. From 5 years old, he could play anything he hears on the guitar. Like, he's an extraordinary jazz musician, piano, guitar, anything he wants to play. Like, And he came with that, no question. I never had to tell him to practice. And I love those shows that, like, I don't know if you've seen them, where like the kids remember like a past life or something and they like to paint. Like coming knowing things or having skills is so fascinating to me. I just feel like there's something there.
Oh, for sure.
It's a
for
nerd
sure.
show, right? I'm allowed to nerd out on
You can
previous
nerd
lives.
out on whatever you
Jodie
want.
Benson, Stargate, past lives.
That's right. And we have all kinds of nerds. We have musical theater nerd. We have punk
What
rock
should we
nerd.
sing?
You know, everybody has their own brand of nerdery.
Are we singing a Broadway song together right now?
I think you already got it. She was gone, but she used to be mine.
Yes,
That's
baby.
it?
That's it. We're not doing the whole thing.
Okay, your turn, Tara. Now you go, Tara.
It's not simple to say. Most days I don't recognize me, but these shoes and this apron, this place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. Come on, sing it with me. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention sweet center. I still remember that girl. She isn't perfect, but she tries. Oh, it's so good. So good. We'll sing the whole thing, right?
I'm the clapper, not
She
the singer.
is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken, won't ask for help. Oh, it's so good. Okay.
Now can you sing it as Raven?
She is messy, but she is kind.
She is broken.
Only most of the time, she's all of us mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be my pudding.
Yes!
I think this is exactly how you saw this thing going today.
I think it is. I do think it is.
Courtney and I woke up this morning and we just had a premonition.
Mm-hmm. It was like, you know, from past life. I was born knowing this is how it was going to go today. Actually,
That's why she's so bored.
Kate Flannery came on and busted out her piano. Just
Is that right?
impromptu. So,
Yep, played the office theme.
It's all coming full circle, guys. But yes, we'll have to have an all Broadway nerdathon.
I'm in.
So Tara, of all the characters you played so many iconic characters, My Little Pony and Powerpuff Girls and Harley Quinn, of course, Raven. And is there a character you've played that you think would make a great political leader, president, senator, something like that? But somebody that's like, oh yeah, they could be in charge.
I mean, Holly for president, right?
I mean, any of my characters, any of them would be better than Trump. I'm sorry, I know you're nonpartisan, but any of my characters, any of them would be better than Trump. I mean,
I sometimes wonder about Harley's motives, but okay.
let me just say that if we're gonna make a smart political choice, one that we think will get the most votes, and based on how she gets people going, we're gonna have to go with Twilight Sparkle. Twilight Sparkle for president. I mean, she's already proven around the world the kind of following.
Mm-hmm.
It's Twilight Sparkle.
Madam President Twilight Sparkle has a really nice ring to it.
My little Prezi, she is president.
Not to mention the posters, the stickers, like
right?
I think I would buy out that entire merch store when it went live.
Guys,
all sparkles and rainbows.
Do you think I should I announce right now? I think I should announce right now.
I'm Twilight Sparkle, and I've decided to run for president of the United States of America.
It's already in the feed. Twilight Sparkle is a leader. People are totally behind it. Move over, Kanye.
You guys saw it here first.
Say that again.
I said you saw it here first.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
right.
You saw it here first. And there's going to be all kinds of fan art. I think we should get on Redbubble with this right now, guys, because we could make a mint. And I'm sure the My Little Pony people will be fine with it.
I think so.
I mean, there's plenty of My Little Pony stuff that's on Redbubble that nobody else seems to mind, so sure. Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah. We can have we can do little masks with little ponytails. It'd be super cute.
Yes.
Guys.
Little horsey snouts.
Yes. Guys, we got to go. We're going to do the merch chat. We're going to make $1 million. If you are just joining us, we are here with voiceover goddess Tara Strong. We are Between Two Nerds, the chat show for NerdsVote.com, your source for nerd voter registration and information, and a little bit of chat as well. If you have questions for Tara, put them in the question box. And many of these have been answered.
I saw a couple Twilight Sparkle for president. I think they like that idea.
I think it's going to be a huge hit.
I'm doing it.
Let's
A slightly more serious question, Tara. So one of the things that we hear from a lot of people is they're concerned that their vote doesn't matter and that it doesn't count. What do you say to people that are kind of on the fence about voting because they don't think that it's really going to make a difference?
Well, that's what they want. They want you to think. The opposition would want you to think that your vote doesn't count. So, of course, your vote counts. Every single vote counts. In the last election, some counties lost by 2 votes. Like, every vote counts for every elected official, not just for the president, but up and down the ballot. And you matter. And the freedom to vote in this country, in the United States when I'm there, here too, obviously, but it's a huge, huge thing. And still in some places, you don't have the right to vote. And to be given that right, and then to have some sort of say in what future you see for yourself, your fellow man, you vote, because your vote counts. Every vote counts. And you feel like, don't you feel like you've done something? Like, it's not just about getting the sticker, although I like the sticker. It's you feel like you've done some sort of duty, and you have. And then also, you're not allowed to complain about it if you don't like it. If you don't vote, then you're not allowed to complain. So you want to give yourself the ability to complain.
You get a sticker, you get to bitch, and hopefully,
Exactly.
over time, you guys also remember that it's not just the one vote. Voting is a practice. It's a lifestyle, not a trend, as we like to say. And it's important because it takes a while to turn a cruise ship around, right? This is a huge country, millions of people. And if everybody got on board and started voting, we could make things happen a lot faster. But you also, have to take into consideration that your vote counts on a local level, probably a little faster because there's, less saturation. But that over time, voting is about consistency. Voting is about not just voting and then coming back in 4 years and voting again. It's about staying involved.
Well, and I love
locally.
the ability to change and grow too. I'm sure you saw Kasich's speech, and it was brilliant. He's standing at a fork in the road, right? It's not about Democrat, Republican. You're voting for a human that represents your nation. It's so much bigger than Republican or Democrat, and I love that. I love that he put that message out there, that a Republican put that message out there.
Yeah. And to align yourself, it's sort of to circle back with the secret stuff. It's about the law of attraction, right? And so what are you attracting to you, and what are you attracting for us? And that idea that you're trying to find people that kind of resonate with you, both in your work life, in your success being a voice actor, but also your home life, your friends, and also who's working for you on a much bigger level. You can manifest that stuff on all levels to the highest of the land. And, trying to put somebody in office who resonates with what your moral compass points to, the things that you love, the things that you support is really important. And it's not instant gratification, but it will make change. And I sort of on that note, are there there's so much kind of work to be done and things to kind of keep your fingers on the pulse of. Are there, I know you do a lot of political work. You use your platform in an amazing way, and your opinions, and also supporting a lot of different groups. Is there anything that you're really, that's maybe not political, that you're very into supporting right now, or over time?
Well,
Charities.
thank you for that. I love using social media for charity. And by the way, speaking of My Little Pony, they were the most giving fans. Any charitable cause I was behind, it's the bronies that are all donating and there and so sweet there for each other. So I've always, way before I cared about politics, I was always big into helping out with child cancer. I have big bullying, anti-bullying platform, and of course, anything with animals. And right now, I have to talk about Races. It's such an incredible charity. It is political, but they're, helping to get these kids out of cages and reunited with their families. And they're just incredible. And then a couple weeks ago, I did a Together We Rise fundraiser on my Instagram with the cast of the Teen Titans. And they are this amazing organization that makes kids feel like they matter, that go into the foster care program. So often when a kid leaves, they just take their stuff in a garbage bag. These guys make sure they have really cute duffel bags filled with all the kinds of stuff they need. And then they have activities. They take them shopping. There's bike building and all kinds of theme park stuff and college funds. So we devoted the whole weekend to them. I think that's the other thing about COVID, being able to be home and like research a little bit more. I don't know about you, but every other weekend I'm like, okay, this week my cameo's for Black Girls Code, or this week it's for, like you can use it so much more. People are just home.
Yeah, it's great. And I really respect you. I know I speak for JP as well. I really respect you for using, your platform for good. So often people, will be like, just shut up and act, shut up and dribble, shut up and, and your fearlessness is
They still do that.
inspiring.
Don't you hate that?
And yeah.
Why do they do that? You're an actor, so you're not allowed to have an opinion. Okay.
We're the original opinionated people. Our art form stems from religious freedom and from expressing our voice.
And being the storytellers and the history keepers. Indeed. So we both really appreciate you doing that, because I think it's really inspirational it has been for me. You kind of think about those things when you're putting things out on the internet and you're like, but I feel like voice actors in general are pretty awesome and thoughtful and outspoken. And I think that you're, really sort of an influencer that way. And I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to take a couple more questions, and then we are going to get kicked off of the Instagram. Do you watch anime, Tara? Do you watch?
I watched
sort of
some of it. So my boys really got into Avatar over the break, and I hadn't seen it before. So I watched it, and that was beautiful. The Ascending episode, oh my God. It was like beautiful and surprising for Nickelodeon when you think about the artistic quality to that show. I watched anything I did for Murakami. So I haven't seen like the video game anime stuff that I've done. Like I haven't played Final Fantasy, but I loved the Animatrix. It was a really cool piece of anime. Really, really cool. But Spirited Away, because I was in it. Not a ton of TV series stuff, but I like the films.
And is there something now, so we know that, obviously you've done every kind of voice acting that there is, and you're doing on-camera acting as well. Is there something out there that you're like, this is next for me, since you are so about, what you want and what's, in the pipe for yourself?
Yes,
is there
JP and I are going to go do a Broadway show. That's what's going to happen. Me and JP, we're going to go do a Broadway show together. I'm manifesting that right now.
I'm here for that. I'm totally.
I feel like that would be a good. You guys already do JP does the miscast, stuff. I feel like you could take that stuff to Broadway for sure. There are so many talented voice actors who can sing. You two,
Yeah.
go forth. This show we solve all the world's problems on this show. We do.
I think we're both going to be in Waitress together. I just decided.
You guys are gonna like spell each other for the lead.
I want the dorky waitress girl.
That's the best part. That's the best part. With her little ponytail right here. She's so cute. She's so cute.
Yeah.
The people like this idea.
I will be the second banana.
Okay.
Guys, I think you should just bring it up over to the federal. Just start workshopping it when this whole thing is over. Let's do it. So we're going to take one last question. You know, I'm amazed. People are super into Big Time Rush. That is the sleeper credit.
Oh.
But we are going to go for the important stuff. What's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, that's a great question. You guys got two really good ones in.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite dessert. I mean, I guess if I could only have one forever, like a really good moist vegan chocolate cake with icing and yumminess, I guess.
Take it.
Did I win a prize? Did I win anything?
You did. I was a waitress at Real Food Daily, and I used to seal the slices of cake and just eat them in the bag. Fun fact,
I
everyone.
used to love Real Food Daily.
It's so they're
I'm not a
desserts.
vegan, but that BLT is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was good. That
More
is
cookies.
good. That is good.
Yeah.
That is good.
There
In
is. That
Toronto,
was the
there's
best
a
waitressing
really
job I ever had.
there's a really, really kick-ass vegan sushi restaurant near here, and we've just been ordering it, and it's so creative. When vegan chefs get so creative, we're like, are you sure this is vegan? Crossroads is like that. Have you guys been to Crossroads? So good.
I have not, but I love Robin Hood. Robin Hood? Is that the vegan ramen place down in? It's vegan raw. It's down in the food place, JP, that we went to. The hall downtown, Grand Central Market.
Is it?
Yes, and they have vegan sushi and vegan. And I'm like a pescatarian, but I was like, I could live on this. It's vegan sushi and vegan ramen, and it is going on. Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So check it out, you guys. If you're not vegan, you should try it, because vegan of 2020 is different than vegan of
so different. Plus, it'll save the planet.
Also that, and it's delicious.
Yep.
So, Tara, we generally sign off, and this is going to be ridiculous because we generally sign off with voice actors where we say, like, if you'd like to sign off and remind people to vote as your favorite character, well, for you, it's 15,000 characters. So I don't know if you want to pick one, or if anybody wants to have one thrown in the comments, you can try, but she may come up with a sleeper credit. We don't know.
And you want me to say, and you want me to say, get out and vote?
Whatever, any character that, get out and vote.
I wish you guys would vote. It would be really hardcore if you voted. Yeah, everybody needs to get out there and vote.
Yeah, go in hero and vote.
Oh, please go vote. Everyone in Equestria is depending on it. Hokey smokes, just get out and vote, would ya? Yeah, that's my poopy vote.
All right, guys. Well, I think she just killed it. I think that was the most.
You get the award for most characters used in our sign-up.
In one sentence. Yes.
By many.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Just everybody.
Yay!
The winner!
Well, hopefully we made people smile.
Well, you certainly have made all of us smile, and all of these amazing people. And just one, can you do the Raven curse chant thing?
Yeah, you know what? If you guys don't vote, Azarath Metrion Zindos.
That's right.
That's the one.
That's the one we were waiting for. That's the clip. Thank you, Tara. You're
Thanks,
awesome.
guys.
You
That
can
was
come
fun.
visit us again.
Thanks for having me.
You're the best. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you do the strategy guide. Check it out. And we'll see you. We're going to announce our next guest on Saturday. So we'll see you on Tuesday at 6 p.m.
See you then.